Hi everyone, this is Tamur. Welcome to my channel, The Cloud Security Guy. In case you are new here, I talk on a weekly basis about cloud security, artificial intelligence, and general cybersecurity career advice. So today's video is on my favorite topic after cloud security, which is artificial intelligence risks. Basically how AI can be used and misused. And if you're a cybersecurity professional, you should find this to be very informative about how certain things can happen. So let's take a look at today's topic. So first of all, guys, brief intro. Phishing. Phishing attacks. If you're in cybersecurity, you would be familiar with this, right? You would get an email in which the attacker would pretend to be a trusted guy, some trusted email, in order to trick you to get your user ID and password or compromise your machine. Phishing has been around for decades, and honestly, we've become much better identifying them. People usually don't get tricked now, and cybersecurity teams have become really, really good at this. So, what's the problem? Well, the problem is I want to talk about a new type of phishing which is happening because of artificial intelligence and why you should be very much aware of this, especially if you're in cybersecurity. So let's take a look back, okay, guys? Let's take a scenario. So I want you to assume something. Your IT team is interviewing a database administrator for a new remote position, fully remote, 100%, right? The person is an experienced database administrator, well known, okay? His identity documents check out, his references have checked out. Unfortunately, there's a problem. The guy you're interviewing, the database administrator, is not really this guy. So it's somebody else who's pretending to be that database administrator. He stole the identity of the actual guy and is impersonating his identity. And he looks like him, he talks like him. And there is absolutely no way for you to tell the difference. Why? Well, because he is using a technology called deepfake, which makes it seem that you are talking to the DBA. I mean, he looks exactly like that guy, right? And today, nowadays, most interviews are happening through remote, through Zoom or through Teams or Chime or whatever you want to call it. And it's become very, very easy to pretend to be somebody else. But deep fakes have caused this to become like really, really dangerous. And what happens now? So assuming his identity documents he stole, so he's pretending to be this guy, his identity documents will check out, right? You will do the reference checks. And now when this guy, what happens if he actually gets hired? Well, what do you think is going to happen, guys? He didn't need to hack your environment, right? You already gave him the keys to the company. So once he's inside, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to compromise your databases, your information, and find ways to bypass your environment, right? And all the while, he's going to use the authorized access he was given. If you have PII, PCI, or some sensitive data, you've basically given a hacker the keys to your kingdom, and he's going to use that to steal the data because you could not tell that it was somebody else, right? So this is the topic of today's video, which is deepfake and cybercrime and cybersecurity. Why you need to be aware of this and why this is so dangerous, especially if you don't understand. This is a new way of maliciously using AI, and cyber criminals of today. They are very inventive, and they are always on the lookout for new ways to hack into a company's defense systems, and they have found this with deepfakes. Okay, so before we go ahead, guys, please do like and subscribe to this channel. It will really help the channel to grow, and please comment, share as much as you can, so it will help this beneficial knowledge to reach the maximum amount of people. So brief description, guys. What are deep fakes? What am I talking about? Well, if you want to look at the technical definition, this one, like synthetic media in which a person blah blah blah, very long. I can't read this, guys. Simply put, it's using artificial intelligence in a way that you can manipulate audio and visual, so to make it seem you're somebody else. You can protect, and the way at which technology is evolving, they have become very, very accurate. I mean, you will not believe how real they look. I don't know if you have checked out the Tom Cruise ones, like the guy who pretends to be Tom Cruise, and it's really amazing just how like accurate that looks. Let's take a look at that, and you'll see just how accurate these deepfakes can get.
Enough to break the ice. It's the last time I've ever seen Mikhail Gorbachev.
What's up, TikTok? You guys cool if I play some sports?
Okay, so that was pretty cool, right? So deepfake, like you say, it's become very viral on YouTube and everything. However, it's not just an amusing pastime for people to create viral YouTube videos, but it can have serious trust implications because, people usually believe what they're seeing, especially if it's coming from somebody they trust, they've verified it. And the potential of deepfake to really bypass these things can be quite severe. Remote working has become very reality for most companies nowadays, and most interviews are happening remotely. So cyber criminals, they've realized they can use AI and stolen identity documents to do new type of phishing attacks using deepfake, basically tricking HR, tricking IT into giving them positions of high access. And as far as HR knows, they are hiring a trusted professional, right, for a remote work position, usually maybe the consultants, and they're giving them, but they don't know they are giving a cyber criminal unauthorized access. And since it's fully remote, you won't find out until it's too late. And it's become a real blind spot for many companies, as fake LinkedIn profiles are like very easy to make, and the interview process is not something which cybersecurity teams have visibility into. I mean, tell me, do you have any tools for your HR department to verify, like some cybersecurity tools? Most companies don't have this. And the thing I'm talking about, this is not theoretical, as I'm going to show you. This attack is actually happening, and it's become very, very popular, very, very fast. So this is an advisory which the FBI recently released about the increase of deepfakes by criminals. They're applying for sensitive remote-based positions to get access to sensitive data. The jobs can be programming, database administration, other sensitive positions. And the attackers then can use this stolen PII, the stolen, like the identity store, to make their application look more convincing. So they can pass background checks and the companies won't know. Usually some companies, they find out when they observe during the interview, hey, this guy's lips are not syncing with his interviews, or other like audio was not right. However, you can't really rely on this. Why? Because the speed at which AI is developing makes this only a minor problem. Very soon, criminals will have the tools and technologies. They can refine it until it becomes virtually undetectable. And they are motivated to get access to PII, database, corporate reports. They can really motivate them. So they will keep on trying it. So you have to be aware of this new type of vector, especially if you're working in a company which contains sensitive data. Okay, so that was the scary part. Sorry for making you paranoid. But, okay, so what do you think can be done to protect against this type of attack? Well, first of all, you should fight fire with fire, or maybe AI with AI. So as these types of attacks have become more common, the best way to counter them would not be to like look at AI with suspicion, stop trusting AI. You should adopt AI and machine learning for authentication purposes. So maybe you're conducting interviews over Zoom or like Teams. That should, for sensitive positions, that should no longer be enough. You need to invest in technologies with machine learning. They have something called liveness detection. It actually catches attempts by attackers to pose in somebody else. So what your human eye cannot see, AI will catch it. And it will say, this guy is not fake. This guy is fake, sorry. This is not a real person behind the interview. So you need to use AI for these sort of sensitive positions. And this form of authentication starts to happening. And you need to train your HR teams also. How will you train them? You can add actually deepfake awareness to your cybersecurity programs. This is a free website. This is from MIT, and you can actually use this to train your staff. So what do you call? This is a research project by MIT. You can go to the website. They show you various media clips, and half of them are completely fake. Half of them are real. Okay, they're using deepfake technology, and they tell you how to detect whether this is a real one or not. You need to start training your HR people on these type of attacks. This is a very completely free, completely easy way of doing it. So like I said, because this is it's part of a research project which MIT is doing. So you can use this to actually train your HR staff. Use it, take a look at it. I put in the link at the top. You can take a look at it and start using it for your HR program. Similarly, there are other ways of at the FBI, they also released a notification in which they told people what are the telltale signs you need to look at. I'll link that below. You can take a look at that also. But please start adding them to your information security awareness programs. So just a recap, what do you need to do, guys? So like I said, start using AI when it comes to sensitive positions. So you can do liveness checks, especially if you're interviewing for sensitive positions or it's completely remote. Okay, look at how your interviews happen. Do a risk assessment. How do you authenticate? Do a complete risk assessment. And like I said, add deepfake awareness to your cybersecurity program so the HR is trained. Train your staff on how to detect deepfakes using websites like the one I showed you. So you can, and lastly, you should update your incident response processes to incorporate this scenario. Like what happens if there's a deepfake attack where somebody used deepfake to impersonate your CEO or some C-level executive. And like what happens if he does this and makes it like a fake video to harm your company's reputation, right? Make sure your legal and media teams are included in the same. So like I said, guys, we are entering into like new territory with AI-based attacks, and companies and cybersecurity teams need to start getting updated. It's like, those days of simple email-based phishing attacks are gone. and cybersecurity teams really need to update themselves about these new types of attacks. Okay, especially from AI governance. One last time, I'd like to plug in my courses here. If you are interested in AI, risk, and cybersecurity, so I have made a few courses which I put on Gumroad. Do take a look at it. If you are new to AI, there are AI for beginners courses also. I've made it so you can like fully try to understand how it works, how are those things. So I put in the link below. Take a look at it and let me know if you are interested in it. Okay, guys, I hope that was useful to you. Do let me know, and please do like and subscribe to this channel. That will really help the channel to grow. And thank you very much. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thank you so much.